Hi guys. Well, I just spent nearly an hour recording a Flosstube. That was super fun, and it will not play. I don't know why. I don't know what's happened. There is no way that video is findable. So yeah, that's bloody brilliant actually. I'm thrilled to bits with that. So we are going to go again, and hopefully this will work. I'm going to be stopping and starting it and checking quite soon. Anyway, hi, my name is Emily. I'm Crafty Emily here on Flosstube, and you're very welcome to my Flossmas. Welcome to, it's not Flossmas, it's May. I am not doing anything for Mania this year. My mania is working because May is manic. So that's that. And it is May the 6th, Friday May the 6th, and I'm saying I'm not doing anything for Mania, but I am starting all the things, but not because of Mania, just because I'm going through one of those times when I feel I need to start lots of stuff. I think a lot of us who have lots of whips understand how I'm feeling at the moment. I will be starting 3 or 4 or 6 or 8 new things, and I've already started 3 new things this week, and probably another 3 or 4 planned for very shortly. Anyway, last week I showed you my very nearly completed mini Haid quick stitch. Oh, every time I'm not stopping and starting. Anyway, my quick stitch Dragon Guardian, and here it is. It is finished. It is awaiting a wash because you can see some lines on it and a little bit of coffee, but there we go. That is a Haid. It's a very little Haid, let's be honest, but it is finished, and that's 30,000 stitches there, and I think 34 days. So some days I stitched a lot and some days I stitched not very much at all, but it's done. There we are. This is, I think, 22 count hardanger, 1 strand of everything charted apart from the sparkly, which you can just about see there, just on the top of his wings, the sparkly white. I used a treasure braid instead of the Krynic because that's what came into my hand first. I do have a little bit of the Krynic now because one of my lovely subscribers popped a little spool of it into the very fine braid into one box of goodies she sent me. Up until then, because obviously Lakeside had been out of stock forever, so up until then I'd not had any, so I have a little bit now, and I can at least feel it now and know that it's the same as the treasure braid I bought, hoping that would be the same. So I've really enjoyed that, and it's been really fun to challenge myself and stitch monogamously, I think might be the word. When I recorded the first time, honestly, I stumbled over that word so many times, and it was like, I can't speak. So I tried a little harder then. Okay, I've already done this once, guys, so it's going to be more concise, I think, this time. So yeah, as this week's been going on, I have been collecting up information about my current whips. I bought myself a notebook, which I took to work, so you can see it is already covered in, I think this is butter, I think this is milk, anyway, I've done myself some wonderful even tabs. Look at that, I get a really big thick gold star there for doing wonderfully even tabs. So what I thought I'd do is I would write down all my whips as of now, May, and my first tab is Haid's. And just for reference, this much of my notebook I have devoted to my current Haids. So each one, let's use the key as an example. I'm simply writing what it is, who it's by, what count I'm doing it on, and how many strands. That's if I can remember. There are some I have no idea. Its size and how many stitches, and then on the 1st of May I had this much done, 70,000 stitches of 175, which is exactly 40%. I'd like it to be a little bit more than this by the end of this year, and I thought, well, each time I work on it I can write it in and write my new percentage, and it'll give me a keep going kind of thing. So if it's a big one like that, I've given myself 2 pages. Bountiful Bookshelf is bigger, and I'm only at 7.98% on that, so I've given myself 3 pages on Bountiful Bookshelf. Hubble Bubble, the ornament, not so much because it's tiny. It's only 31,000 stitches, so that's only the size, only this size but round. So anyway, that's what I'm doing. Some Hades, and then I've got full coverage that's not Hades, which is Carolyn Manning Designs Shooting Star. 52% on that, for goodness sakes, I need to pull my finger out. Whole load of those, and then I've got Long Dog samplers. I haven't started filling this in, and then the tab on the back is waiting for everything else. So those are my 4 categories, and my everything else covers ink circles, it covers Barbara Anna's, it covers random patterns, it covers everything else that's not full coverage, of which there's an awful lot, guys. I've been through my list of Hades, through my list of everything. It's substantial. I have an awful lot of whips, and I went so my aim is to stitch on everything. There's some things that I love, and there's some things that I don't love but I want to finish. Not that I don't love them, I don't like stitching on them. It's hard to stitch on them. I've left them for an awfully long time. I've got a Lakeside Needlecraft bands of what's it called? Bands of variation or something, and I've done like this much, and it's easy peasy stitching. Why can't I pull it out and work on it? So I thought, right, I'm going to not force myself, but I'm going to rotate my whips a lot more. I'm going to get them so I can access them, so I can reach for them and say, right, I'm going to stitch, let's say I thought 1,000 stitches, and I thought, well, that's a bit of an odd. 1,000 stitches will nearly finish some things, and 1,000 stitches will, well, not even touch the surface of some other things. So I thought, right, why don't I just try and do 1%, which is fine for anything in Pattern Keeper, and anything that's not in Pattern Keeper, I'll think about what I'm doing. Now, I sat at work. Anybody use an order pad? Anybody work in service? And I wrote down what 1% of all my things in Pattern Keeper just on my phone. There are 27 of them, I think, here. So some of them are quite big. So things like the Bountiful Bookshelf, 3,500 stitches is 1%. And then things like the New Normal, 374. So I could sit down and do 400 stitches and go, brilliant, I've made progress, I've done 1%. Move on to something else. Yeah, there's a lot here. There's this many whips in Pattern Keeper on my phone. But I've written down the numbers of 1%. I'm trying to think how I'm going to push myself to get on with things, because I tend to get very obsessed with something for a while and then very obsessed with something else for a while, and a lot of my little patterns are getting missed in the bus. Like my Dreaming Girl, she's still not finished. How is she not finished? My original Dreaming Girl is not finished. How? Because I've just not got round to finishing her, that's all. I need to pull her out, finish her, do her, get her on the wall. I'm going to have Dreaming Girls, 4 or 5 of them, by and by. So, I better show you some more cross stitch. Dreaming Girls. I started sailing, dreaming the sailing Dreaming Girl, and I started her on this piece of very see-through. I think it's 32 count. It's definitely Zweigart, and because it's got the orange flash, and I think it's linen. It's not even weave. It's lovely. Anyway, it is very even, which is why I'm like, is it even weave? But it's thin, so I think it's linen. And here is my start on the Sailing Dreams, something like that. It's the one that's just come out on Creative Poppy, which is where I get all my Barbara Annas that aren't ready-made kits, and I've only bought one of those from Nick Moscow. So there's a little fishy there, and this is the start of the girl, and there's the wave at the bottom. And when I stitched that, I couldn't see the difference in the 2 colours, but I really can now, so that's really good. And I had to change up the navy blue here. That's now 939, because anyone who knows who has a working knowledge of DMC colours, this is 336. This navy blue Ada is 326, which is the called for colour there, and I didn't want it to disappear, so I just pulled out 939, which is a really good go-to. It's about as dark a blue as you're going to get, so that it stood out nice and well. Now I found this piece of fabric in my whip box because it already has a whip on it. Now this is called Midnight, it's from Filigram, and why haven't I finished it? There's a mound here, and then there's a few flowers and a moon and a cat, and that's it, it'll be done. But I haven't finished it, so I don't know if it's going to fit along with the Dreaming Girl. They might overlap. What I'm going to do is finish her first, and then if I can finish this, I will. If I can't, I won't. Oh crikey, I stitched this a long time ago. And I've not finished it, and it's just been sitting in my whip pile for a long time. And yeah. Oh, that's how I put my fabric in, because when you use now I don't use Q-snaps as such, mine are called R&R craft frames. I buy these in Hobbycraft. Actually, I buy these from Lakeside and basically buy pipe and corners and build my own now, but anyway, only because I have a lot of pipe and what have you. So what I do, if it's not going to be holding in tight enough, I either put a piece of, this is a piece of like sweatshirt material, but a piece of felt or a piece of something quite thick in to help hold it tight, because that's right up against the corner. But otherwise, I just get my fabric and just lay it over and then do it up. So I've got two layers there. One, it helps the fabric stay out of the way, and two, it just helps get tight. It will work loose again because they do, but I like to stitch with a really tight thing. So I'd stitch there like this, doing that. So there's my next start, Sailing Dreams, I think it's called. It's under Barbara Anna in creativepoppy.com. They're PDFs, you just download them, done. To that end, I'm also going to start the Cosmic Dreams and the Floral Dreams, both of which I like very much. I'm going to start them both ends like I showed you last week on that piece of 32 count colonial blue that I have overdyed a little bit bluer. It's blue and it's now a bit bluer. It's slightly mottled, but I'm going to start one end and one the other. So that's two more new starts that I'm going to be starting very soon. This week, next week, something like that. So I've got a new start and a possible UFO. I might have to UFO it if they're going to overlap, but this is going to take precedence over that because I have not stitched on it for such a long time that if I wanted it, I would have done it. So I'm reusing the fabric just because I wanted to start it in the navy. I thought navy blue, and then I found navy blue and I was like, found a piece of black linen with nothing on it, and went, no, no, not black. So I made a big decision, aided and abetted by the Marzipan Stitcher, and I am UFOing this. Because I've already shown it once, so it's already round the wrong way. So I am UFOing the first Haid I ever started. I am UFOing my treasure hunt bookshelf because, and this is my whole thing about Haids, you have to love the fabric you're stitching on. You have to love the coverage you're getting. You have to love it. And this, I don't love. This is 18 count eBay Ada. That is the problem with it. It is nasty. Every stitch has been a challenge to the point where this is my restart, and yes, I've done 7%, but you can see that it's one strand. That's the coverage. Yes, it would fluff up a little bit on washing, but I love this piece so much that I don't want to look at it after spending years and years stitching it and go, I don't love it. You have to love it. You have to be prepared to skip it, start again if you don't love it. And I wasn't loving this. This hummingbird here is blurred. I know it's a hummingbird. Anyone who stitched this knows it's a hummingbird. He's blurred. I don't want a blurry hummingbird. I don't want blurry leaves. I don't want blurry fairy. There's a whole little fairy sitting on a swing there. It's like 20 stitches. That can't ever look like a little fairy sitting on a swing. So this, oh look at all this counting I've done. And there's the doors at the bottom. See, originally I started it with a paper pattern and then rebought it on Pattern Keeper. And here's my original start. Here it is. That looks much better. I totally agree. Look at that coverage. But look at this thread. Can you see how fluffy it is? Look at that. That's what this fabric does to 2 strands of DMC, and as you can see, I've only just started using this. I've probably done 20 stitches with this piece and already it's shredding. It's so harsh that it is shredding my DMC. It shredded my DMC. It was so hard to get well, as soon as you get into confetti, it got so hard to push through. This is physically thick here with the confetti, and it got so hard to push through that I didn't love it, and I restarted it with 1 strand and I thought I liked it, but as I was talking about it last week, I pulled it out and went, I don't love it. So Marzipan Stitcher and I were having a little discussion, and she said, do it. What you need to do is you need to take this fabric, dye the shit out of it, stitch something else on it, because once it's been dyed and washed and rinsed and all of that, it will change that fabric completely. So it's UFO'd. And there was a Haid sale, and I have Christmas money in Haid, so I bought a new copy. Yes, I have my PDF. I bought It Started. There is my start. There is my start. I bought the super size max colour. This is 722,000 stitches. This is not. And you can see I've drawn some funny boxes. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop my recording now, because I don't want to have to do this 3 times. I'm going to double check. I'm going to double check that everything's recording fine. And then Billy's just come in. It's raining. Billy, come here. Oh, goodness, Billy. Is it raining outside, honey? Let me grab him. I've just got a spiky. Here's Billy. It's been raining. He doesn't pick up well. There's my boy. And there he goes. He's not a picky uppy cat. And it's raining. It's drenched. Spiky wet cat. Is it raining? Is it? Right, let me check this is recorded and then I'll tell you all about this. I'll be right back. Right, everything's fine. It's recording. That puts my mind dramatically at rest, so I don't waste another whole hour trying to make a video. So, yes, I've got, this is obviously an enormous undertaking here. Absolutely enormous. So I thought I'll give myself a very clear goal. I would like to have this finished in 10 years' time. Now, to that end, I need to do 7,000 stitches a month. And because each one of these little squares, this is 20 count Ada Easy Grid. each one of these little squares is 100 stitches. So I've blocked out blocks of 70, and my goal is to stitch one block a month. So 7,000 a month. Now I can do that all in one go over the space of about a week, just bang, 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 and just put in 1,000 stitches, 1,000 stitches. Or I can just do 234 stitches a day. It depends. Just see how I'm feeling, but I need to keep at it. So I have made a start. There is a tiny little start there. That box is filled, that box is filled, they were all white, and a bit here and a bit there and a few stitches there. So I've currently got 2 little bits of thing there. Those are the 2 colours that this block is mostly made up of, because this is just the top corner and it's a cloud. So I've started in the top right hand corner as opposed to the top left hand corner, because I've already stitched that twice, and to be honest I don't want to have to do it again right now. So I started in the top left hand corner, but I am a cross country stitcher, so I'm going to cross country within this box. If I finish the box and there are a few stitches here and a few stitches there, I will probably jump over and do them. I'm not going to be religious. Here is my piece, I have filled this box, I will move to this box, I will fill this box. It's guidelines. We'll see. Anyway, it's enormous. 20 count Ada. I'm stitching 1 strand, which on 20 count gives you a really super coverage, not like it was on the 18 count, which is what that was. And yeah, it's going to be enormous. This is a piece of easy grid that is 1.5 meters by 1.1 meters. Now I got that delivered in 3 days from Wool Warehouse, which is in the UK, and I used to always buy wool from them, yarn, and then they started doing fabrics, and they started off with patchwork fabrics, and then they went to stitching, and they're very, very fast, and you can always find a good code online to get at least 10% off, and they're very good. If you spend more than, I think it's 25 possibly pounds, you get free postage. Well, I got free postage. This all in with the bit of discount was £29 posted in my hand in 3 days. Perfect. So I started 1st of May, 10 years. Let's see how I do. I would love it. I want it done. It was the first one that ever grabbed me. It was the first one I wanted to do. It was the first one I bought. I have rebought it and rebought it again. But you know, you change and things happen, and I didn't love the Ada. I just got that off eBay. I didn't understand then about Zweigart. I'm a Zweigart girl. But that's that. So that was my big thing. Now I was talking to the Marzipan Stitcher because we started a long dog together, and we started Gone to Pieces, which is one of her newer long dog samplers, and here is where I am. I've done a little bit today. I've done 400 odd stitches today, and I centre started it, which started about here somewhere, and yeah, that's where I am, which is pretty good. And I am using Delicious Silk on this piece of 36 count. That's actually showing perfectly. I'm going to quickly flop my colours on top while the light's really good. So I'm using Delicious Silk, 1 strand on 36 count, and here are my colours that I have got going. So I've got 3 started, and there's the other 4. So I needed 6 colours and like a background, which is Down Under Blues, one of my most favourite navy blues. And there we go. So the one that I added in is this one here, Peach Cobbler, and it is ivory, pink, yellow and peachy colours. It's beautiful, and I thought it would slot in quite nicely amongst them. Just throw that one on the floor because hey, what we do to a £5 hank of silk. Oh, they're gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. It's a joy to stitch with this silk. One strand, just perfect. Absolutely wonderful. So that's on 36 count with one strand of silk, and you can see the coverage is beautiful. Obviously I'm over 2, it's even weave, and I need to machine round my edges because they're a bit free. So there we go. And my little start, that's 2 point something%, and it's very nice, very fun. Yeah, I can't remember what else I talked about. I did do nearly an hour, and it's very demoralising when you sit and record and then it doesn't record properly. The file is there, but it's like I can't play this video, and you think, right, well, that's no good, is it? So yeah, so I have some other new starts planned, and then I'm going to try and work on everything I have. So I'm going to start. I've started Sailing Dreams, I've got Cosmic Dreams to start, I've got the Floral Dreams to start, and I'm also going to start this, the Peekaboo Haid, which is, I showed last time, is not this colour at all, it's turquoises and greens, but I'm going to start that too. And then, yeah, I'm going to concentrate and see if I can do 1% on lots of things. I am going to be doing Whip Parade very soon. Hang fire, guys. Sorry about that. Yeah, I am going to be doing Whip Parade. I'm currently collating everything together. I have a lot of whips. Not only ones in Pattern Keeper on my phone, I've got whips in my Pattern Keeper on my tablet, which I can never find, my Fire tablet. And I've got a lot of paper patterns and a lot of little whips, small starts, things that I really should have just finished a long time ago, like my original Dreaming Girl. Why is she not done? Loads of things. Loads of stuff. It's going to be bitty. I'm going to have to record it over some time, so it might end up being a mid-year Whip Parade, but I think I need to do it for me now so that I know what I've got, because I have stuff everywhere, literally everywhere. I can't keep track of what I've got, and I want to work on lots of different things, but I'd like to know that I've worked on that, I'll work on this instead. Oh, I haven't worked on that for a long time, I'll put some stitches into that, with an aim to maybe doing 1%, 2%, apart from the big huge monsters. I have 2 monsters which require multiple thousand stitches to do 1%, so that's going to be different. But yeah, I'm gonna keep at it, and I'm gonna do a Whip Parade really soon. And yeah, I've totally lost my thread because I had to re-record. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this video processed, get it uploaded, get on with my day. I'm off work today because it is now nearly lunchtime. It's 12 o'clock, so I've been trying for 2.5 hours to record a video, which is demoralising when you've done an hour, and it's, yeah, I'm sorry I keep saying the same thing, it's very annoying. Yeah, I've got to go and do some sorting out upstairs. We moved the girls out of the shared bedroom, one into one into the other, for a permanent, this is how it's going to be. So I've still got some packing up of Maddie's stuff to do, and yeah, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to do the kitchen, and then it'll be time to get the kids from school. So, you know, there's my day off done. So I'm going to get on, but I'm going to sit and do some stitching first, because that's what we do, isn't it? Why do anything when you can sit and stitch instead? Right, I will see you later, guys. I'll hopefully be back quite soon. Well, might not be a Whip Parade, it's probably going to be a Flosstube before you get Whip Parade. And I'll see you soon. Have a really good week, 10 days, 2 weeks maybe. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.